Alrighty, hey traders, John Howell here. We're going to be having a look at across the markets today, and we're going to be showing you. I'm going to be just getting ready for the week. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, traders, let's get straight into the mining, metals, gold, silver, and a few other down home country goodness things that may pop up in today's let's get our asses ready for the week. Before I do start, guys, I'm about to close down the free access to that trading course. I've actually recently I've recorded a brand new trading course just recently, and I'm giving away free access. So if you'd like to get access to that, then do that right now. Go to johnsfreegift.com, or there should be the very first link in the description. Click on that, guys, and then you can actually go get free access to that. So it's one of my most powerful, my most condensed, but my most powerful sort of systems to really get you on the right foot of understanding a lot of things about the markets. So let's get our little rear ends excited for this week when it comes to the good old stocky market. Let's actually, and gold, silver, and a down home country goodness as well too when it comes to the individual stocks. So let's have a look at we'll start with the good old stock market first. Let's actually start with the Dow Jones first, and then we'll continue on through here. So looking at the big picture when it comes to the good old Dow Jones is that the big thing that I'm noticing right now is that we are still hovering around this 34,000 to 35,000. And this is going to be really, really interesting to see what actually forms through here. See, guys, what I'm talking about right now is on a short-term technical level, okay? You can bring this out to big macro levels, which is stuff that I've talked about like in yesterday's video, which is like the sentiment, which is like the interest rate, stuff like that. So that's the big picture, because that all that stuff takes time for it to filter through and so on and so forth. But on a short-term TA level, let's go back to the good old simple fundamentals of what is a trend and what is the market telling us when certain things are happening in the markets. So if the market is in a short-term downtrend, okay? So if the market's in a downtrend, we're going to be doing what? We're going to be doing lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows, right? And then we rally out, and this could be another lower high through here. So what do we have through here? We have what? We have the market coming down. So it doesn't matter what we think. It doesn't matter what we're hoping for or anything like that. Now, again, guys, this is short-term technical analysis. Technical analysis doesn't equal what's going to happen at the end of this year, okay? Short-term TA is like, okay, then what am I watching for this week? Where I believe on a macro scale is, regardless of what I say in this video, we're going to 5,500 on the S&P 500. That's where I see things going, okay? Especially the second half of this year. Get ready for it, guys. I'm telling you, get ready. Oh, it's going to be explosive. Absolutely explosive. I really do see that. There is so much money on the sidelines. Anyway, that's big picture stuff. Who knows when that money on the sidelines is going to really kick in, all right? But when we go back to short-term TA, we have a downtrend, but then there is a reversal for downtrend back into an uptrend, or what we know as sellers in control. As the market is selling down, we come down. We have the sellers are in control because the sellers are what they call lowering their prices. We having these like high, lower high, lower high. You know, that sort of stuff, right? We're in a downward trend. So sellers are in control. Down, lower high, boom, 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 all the way down, okay? So what do we have here? Here's the really interesting thing, is that the market can then suddenly go from a short-term downtrend to a swinging of back to an uptrend. And man, I wish I had an example. There is a few stocks in the back of my mind. I'll share with you it just came to me. I've got it. I'll share with you just a minute, okay? So what happens is that the market will come down through here, but then it'll start to what? It'll start to change back to an uptrend where we had sellers in control. Now we start to, the buyers, The sellers don't knock it down through here, right? They don't come down and we don't make these lower lows, excuse me, and also lower lows, right? We don't make these lower lows in the market. What happens is the market comes down, the buyers come back in eager, and then they start to pick it back up. And what do? They create what? Man, I got a fetish with pink today, don't I? Maybe maybe I'm crossing the other side. I'm sick of women. Actually, no. Women are beautiful. It creates what? We create now a higher low breaking past these previous highs. So who's in control right here? The buyers, right? Why? Because the buyers are coming back in. What is that? And why is that? Because now we got a higher low breaking past. Because what is an upward trend? An upward trend is a higher low breaking past, and then we have this sort of action, right? Higher lows, higher lows. As you can see here, low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Yeah, right? You get what I'm trying to say here. So, in the back of all what I've just said there, and the thing is, guys, is that this is how you read the markets, right? We forget our ego, like, this is what's going to happen because of inflation and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, let's go back to short-term TA. You're right. If you want to be a short-term trader, we've got the big picture stuff that I said before. Big picture stuff. Now let's bring it back down to short-term picture. Okay? I'm looking for a good short-term trade. All right. I want to make some money today. My Mustang in the garage needs its payment this week. So where's that short-term TA setup to pay for the Mustang? I actually do have a Mustang in the garage, by the way, guys. That's why I'm using reference Mustang. I was actually taking my kids out in yesterday, so. It's actually, yeah, anyway, so the reason why I'm saying this is look what's happening here on the good old DJ, right? The good old DJ is doing what? Again, not what I'm hoping for or what I think or what I'm fearing or what my ego says or because I'm long the stock market right now. What's the market? No, none of that. What's the market telling me right now? Right? So we had a high, then we had a low, and we had this point through here. Then we had what? Another lower high. And then we had a sort of a lower low through here, but we actually had a bit of a double bottom through here. So that could be something, okay? But that low, this could also be a lower high here, okay? And now we're getting a pullback. The question is, what happens next? What happens this week? Because I'm telling you right now, because we're in a potentially short-term little downward trend. It's not a very strong downward trend. Because a very strong downward trend, or a very strong trend in general, is 50% retracements. Okay, so if the market runs up and then it pulls back, it generally pulls back around that 50% level. 50%, it's called 50% Fibonacci. If it does do that, even if it comes down to 60% and then continues, that's actually called a strong trend in the markets. Okay, very strong. And my alarm's going off. What's it saying? Put the bin out. I have to remind my dumbass to put the bin out. Have you ever done that before? You know, your gardener comes, he puts all your lawn clippings into your bin, and then you're getting ready for the bin night, and then you forget to put the bin night out. The bin guy comes and goes. You wake up the next morning thinking, shit, my bin's full, and I've got another week now. Anyway, so we have a 50%. That's actually what's called a strong trend, right? Same for the downtrend. Down, up, 50% retracement, and then a strong continuation. That's actually called a strong momentum or strong trend. But we're not getting this here, right? They're almost equal highs. Now, this is for the Dow Jones. I'm going to get to the S&P in just a minute, okay? But this is for the Dow Jones. But what's happening here on the Dow Jones? The Dow Jones is doing what? We're actually pulling back, but we're actually holding through here, right? So this could be what? Ooh, is this going to be a higher low? Because I'm telling you what, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, it doesn't matter what our ego says or what we're saying. The only thing that matters is the market, okay? And again, if you're a short-term trader, it means you're getting in today and you're holding for a couple of days, or you're holding for maybe for a week or two, right? You're a short-term trader. You have to use charts because that's the only thing that matters. Big macro stuff, like I have with my long-term stock market position, gold, mining stocks, right? All that sort of stuff. You know, all this sort of stuff, those big long-term charts, that's like, yeah, where are we in 2025? Or actually, mining and gold, that's like, where are we in 2030? Because just gold is going to go absolutely just nuts. But I'll get to that in just a minute, okay? But look at this here, guys.
It's actually what? And if we start to hold here on the good old DJ and we start to rally out this week, if we do, we don't know, right? We don't know. And we break past previous highs. What is that? Oh, that's the market changing tune, especially on the Dow Jones, right? The Dow Jones is actually holding strong here, right? Again, I'm going to get to the S&P 500, right, guys? So here, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower high, higher low, right? Boom. Let's actually bring up, now, let me show you an example here. Tesla. It actually happened last week. Good old Tesla. Look what happened, Tesla, right? And again, guys, this is the market talking to us, not, and this is where it's like comes down, again, in that free trading course. Link in the description, guys. I'll talk a lot more about actually this here. I've got a few videos dedicated to the stuff I'm talking about just right now. It's powerful stuff. Simple, but ooh, right? Look at this here. High, low, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. What happened here? What? Who came in here? Who's coming in here right now? Who's coming in here? What? Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen, the buyers, right? And then suddenly what happens is we break past previous highs. Who's in control? Boom, 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 boom. Now, who's in control of the markets? Who's in control of Tesla right now? Buyers. Why? Because we're in an upward trend. A lot of people think because we're getting a pullback with Tesla, right? Because no, the sellers are not in control. No, an upward trend. This is what the market does, right? This is still the pullback. Doesn't mean the buyers are not in control. That's where, like with Tesla, get ready because I believe we're going to start to do something like this, and we're going to start to go for a big move again. Why? Because we've now changed tune. We went from sellers lowering their prices to then guess what happened? Oh, look, buyers came back in. And now we're probably going to start to do something like that. See how the market is talking to us, right? It's not about what I think. It's about what's the market telling me right now. Again, guys, all right, guys, because remember I said before that this is not about me trying to see where things are going to be in the next couple of years and the big picture stuff and then inflation and the debt bubble and the digital currencies and the end of the new world order. No. This is about saying, okay, then my Mustang needs a payment this week. What sort of trade? I'm looking for a good trade. Actually, guys, I really like Mustang. The Mustang is such a beautiful car. It's actually a brand new car. It's only got like a couple of thousand Ks on there, so like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 Ks on there. So it's pretty much a brand new car. What type of car do you guys really like? It's the Mustang is actually my dream car. So it's very, very, very grateful for it. Especially when you get to take the kids out as well too, right? You show it's good because when I take the kids out for it, I'm like, yeah, but you need to work really hard and be disciplined and stay at stuff because it's good. The good thing about what I was saying before with the kids is, especially yesterday, I was like, yeah, but do you know my first 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 years of doing what I'm doing right now, I didn't make any money. I actually lost a lot of money because I was making a lot of mistakes, but because I stuck with it, therefore I get blah, 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 right? So that's actually a really good thing when you're teaching your kids, like, yeah, you like this car, yeah, cool. But this is what it took. This is what it took for me to get here. That's the key, right? Sometimes, yeah. Anyway, so that's what's happening right now with Tesla. And I'm not saying you should buy Tesla right now, right? Because we don't know how far this thing is going to pull back. But I'm sharing with you exactly what that means there. Let's go back to the S&P 500. So if we go back to the S&P 500, what's the S&P 500 doing? Let's just go back to simple TA stuff, guys, and to see what the S&P 500 is doing something different. What is it doing? We have a high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Look what happened here. What happened here? Oh, this looks exactly like Tesla, right? Because what happened here? The buyers came in, right? They actually gave a small little high low here on the S&P, and then the market ran up. Now it's created what? This is now a higher high. So we have this high here, or even when you come to this high here. So notice how that's a higher high. And now look what's happening. We're pulled back. Notice how the tune is changing in the S&P 500. The tune is starting to change. So right now, when I'm looking at the S&P 500, we had a short-term downtrend, right? Whoop, here we go. Oh, the crash is going to happen. Oh. And look what happened here. The buyers came back in. This was the low. This was a higher low. They broke past previous highs. Look what happened here, right? Now we're starting to what? Change the tune. When we start to pick back up again, we're probably going to start to make a very big move. This is like a bit. This here is freaking people out. But what's the market telling us right now? Again, not what we think or what we hope. The market's saying, okay, this was a low, this was a higher high. Now this could be a higher low. So what am I looking for on the S&P? Very simple. I'm going to bring up a trend line, and the trend line, all I did is I just looked at this pullback through here. Now I know where we are right now when it comes to the S&P 500, right? This pullback through here, low, higher low. I'm now waiting for this higher low to potentially confirm. What does that look like? Well, if I'm looking at the S&P 500 now, I can see that all through here, I just drew a trend line on the highs or where it couldn't close above. Notice here, this whole few weeks on this pullback, it's had a lot of problems closing above this sort of line through here. See that through there? That level through there, right? So what does that mean to me? That means that if we start to get a bar, even if we've got something like that, and then we got something like that, and we had a very nice up bar like that, what is that telling us? We're starting to low, higher low. We're coming back down. I'm expecting a shift here soon. And then I'm expecting that sort of stuff to happen out of the markets. Because remember, this high is now higher than this high here, this high here, right? So this actually could be, I'm now waiting for this higher low to come into place. And then we're likely to see very big moves to the upside. So that's the S&P, Nasdaq as well too. Right, so traders, what I'm doing here is I'm not just giving you market updates, right? I'm trying to teach you as well too. So you can go apply these, go check. Even if you think I'm full of shit, go check this out with the cryptos or any market out there. This is how the markets work in the markets, right? So the big thing I'm looking for, same for the tech sector, right, guys? Same for the tech sector. What is the big thing we're looking at for the tech sector? The tech sector is one that's being hit the hardest, but if the buyers were going to start to come back into control and we're going to start to form a really big bottom and we're going to start to make a very big move to the upside, like I think we're going to on the S&P 500, right? We go back to here. We go to the S&P 500. Where do I think we're going to? I think we're going to, I have a 5,500 target. Ultimately, I have a 6,000 target, but that may not get there this year. Hey, it may, right? But once we start to see this thing move up, we're going to start to, wow, we're going to start to make a move, right? We're going to start to make a big move, right? So what do we have here? The very first target is what? 5,500. 5,500. That's where I think we're going. But again, that's the end of the year sort of stuff, right? Or by the end of the year. It could happen in next month. I'm joking, by the way, guys. I'm joking. I think it's going to take a bit more than 30 days to get there. So same for the Nasdaq, right? What are we looking for? We're looking for the market to come back in and say, okay, higher lows in the market. What are we looking for? Let's go through here. We had a low, lower low compared to this low here, lower high, lower low. We actually had what? A double bottom. So that's actually potentially a reversal pattern. Okay, because the market didn't break below there. Now it ran up, made a high. Are we going to create a higher low here? Because we actually did get a slight higher high from there. We definitely made a higher high from there. Are we going to create a higher low? Because if we do something like this and we start to rally back up like this, guess what? The buyers are now doing what? And especially if we start to close there. Now we've got a bottom, a higher low. I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen, guys, but the thing I'm watching for is, okay, are we going to go back into an upward trend or are we not? And if we do that, guess what? When we do something like that, now it's breaking past previous highs. Now we're likely to start to see a very, very, very big move to the upside. And I honestly believe, guys, that we're getting very close towards the end of this pullback. And I believe we're getting very close to a turning point in the markets as well too. So that's what I'm looking through there, guys, when it comes to the good old stock market and a few things that's really important. Moving over now through to the gold and silver markets. Let's have a quick look here. Same for the gold and silver markets, the exact same thing, guys. We had a low, we had a high, we had this beautiful higher low through here. So we're now starting to see a very nice upward trend. And if I bring on my good old funky dunky moving average, which is the 52 moving average on my daily charts, you'll notice that the moving average went from flat, which means there was no momentum in the markets, right? Because I use the moving average like a momentum in the market. Flat moving average mean we're not going up or down, means flat. Now we've got some sort of strong trend. So this week here, we may get a little bit of a pullback here, but I see this thing is probably going to start to see a really nice move to the upside because we're starting to see
this upward trend through here, right? So we're seeing that through there. So it'll be really interesting to see how gold actually operates and how it performs and so on and so forth. So right now, actually, we've got gold is pretty much flat for the day. Okay, is that the actual current price? Let's go check out. Yeah, so we're pretty much flat, right? And then we've got silver. It says silver slightly up, but I wouldn't. That's actually probably not true. They're probably just both slightly flat. Yeah. So and now looking at the silver market is really, really, really interesting as well too, because the silver market is starting to do what? Remember I said before about trend analysis, really simple analysis. Low, high. We had a higher high. Now we pulled back. This is now a significant high low, and we're now bringing back up to here, right? Look what's happening here. So we're starting to get a high low. If we start to do this and we break out and we get above there, what do we have here? We have a low, we have a higher low. We've already created the higher high, right? We've already created the higher high here. Remember, there was no one in control, so there's no trend here, downtrend. Now we're starting to build a bit of a strong upward trend as well. In fact, there may be a bit of a channel there in place. Let's actually do this. Let's actually do this here. I'm just noticing that if I draw from the low point to that point there, and then if I create a parallel trend line, yeah, that's where it's probably from there to there. Let's go back to 6 months worth of data now. Yeah, okay. So we're seeing that through there, right? So we're seeing like a bit of a double bottom through there. All right. So I'm just seeing if there's any. Okay, so there actually could be a bit of a channel through there that's forming right now. Even if let's actually just take that back off again. But what the big thing here, guys, is what? Higher high, higher low. We're getting now a higher low through here. And the market and we're starting to get that pickup with silver. So once we start to see that break, especially on this weekly charts, I'm seeing this here on the weekly charts. We're starting to get, as you can see here, right? We're starting to hold here, aren't we? Look at this here. So we had all this flattening of this major support level, and notice how the buyers are coming back in earlier back here, right? Make a high, come back down. If we start to get something like that, then that's probably going to give me the go-go juice to actually get into silver, because once we get that, then we're probably going to see it like that. So that'll probably be my go-go juice to actually get into silver. I'm not in silver right now. I am in the gold market, but it's probably going to give me the go-go juice to get into silver, because then here we go. Let's go have a look at the good old mining stocks. The mining stocks. So GDXJ, my baby. Very nice. Let's actually bring up just the daily charts here. And the good thing about what's happening here is there's a lot of strength that's pouring into the mining sector right now. A lot of strength. Big double bottom through here. We come up, we made a higher high. We now developed a bit of a sideways range, and now we're breaking out. So the mining stocks are looking pretty strong. Again, guys, we're not going to get up days all the time. We could even get a bit of a pullback through here. But ultimately, I'm seeing now we've got this beautiful, beautiful, strong breakout in the mining sector. So I'm expecting to see some really, really, really good move. Or this is the start. This is the start of this point through here is the start of something big when it comes to the GDXJ. GDX, same sort of thing as well too. But we definitely made a very sort of weak move to the upside. Is actually I would have liked to see a bit more of a sideways range. If you have a look at the GDXJ, notice how we actually got like a real good sideways movement through here, and then the breakout. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see, and then notice here that yeah, we got a little bit of a sideways range through here, but we're sort of compressing up. So there wasn't really any sort of good sideways range here, but we are breaking out. So I'm expecting to see some really, really, really big moves when it comes to the mining sector out of that through there. SIL has broken to the upside. So my target for the SIL is $42 now, since we've broken above that 38. You see, it's just varied. It's winning. It's what's called winning, but it's winning ugly, because it's just, yeah, we're not getting any sort of strong movement out of this here, but we are slowly making our way up towards my target. And the SILJ, Very, 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 very nice, beautiful sort of sideways range through here. We had a move up. We had this nice, beautiful move up. Then we came down and went this sideways through here. Now we're getting the breakout. So then I see this thing making a very nice move to the upside in the markets there. And so let's go have a look at the good old Bitcoin. And guys, what I'm about to tell you, you guys that are looking to buy Bitcoin right now, right? So one thing I'm looking at for Bitcoin right now, guys, is Bitcoin is looking ugly, and we're probably going to go through a bit another downward leg. You can see here that just by looking at these markets through here, right, that the market is changing tune. If I go back to the weekly charts here, and I share with you what's happening on the weekly charts are changing tune, guys. All right, we're not getting the buyers are not coming back in now again. So we have this high moving down. We've now rallied up. We've now made a significant lower high through here. We're starting to change the tune now. And so now we're going through this very, very, very weak movement through here overall on the weekly charts. If I go back to my daily charts, you can see here that we're going through this very weak movement. We got a small little bounce. So I'm expecting to see, especially now we got this breaking above this high point through here. We got this false breakout, suck people in to go long. It dropped back down. Now we're holding this trend line. So I'm expecting to see Bitcoin over the next sort of probably few weeks to start to head back down towards this 30 level through here. And then if that doesn't hold, then we're probably going to end up back down towards 20 in the good old Bitcoin. Which, as you can see, right, people are like, oh, remember last year? People with Bitcoin, people are like, oh, gold and silver suck. Gold and silver suck. You should be in Bitcoin. Yeah? What about now? Bitcoin's down. Bitcoin's high was, what's that? 70,000? Was that the high, 70,000? Yeah, pretty much almost 70,000. We now look like we're going to be heading back down towards 28. What's happening with gold again? Oh, that's right. We're almost at its all-time new highs. Ah, interesting. And the whole purpose about that, guys, is guess what? Patience pays in the market. Patience pays in the market. And those who are patient with the good old mining stocks and gold and silver will be rewarded. And those who are chasing the get rich quick because things are moving and they're too impatient, guess what? Now they're looking at their crypto position compared to what they would have had if they just stayed in the mining sector all of last year. Now they're saying, oh man, why did I change for? Why did I change for? All right, so there we go, traders. I hope you enjoyed today's market update. Traders, if you need some help with your trading, then get my free trading course that I've just recently recorded. I'm actually spreading it over for a few days for you, but there's brand new, literally brand new, what I recorded just last week, trading course. It's going to walk you through the biggest things that's actually stopping you right now, like the biggest mistakes. You're going to be walking through a couple of, the chart reading strategies, stuff that I've talked about today. I'm going to talk to you about how you're only 7 trades away from becoming a 6-figure trader. Even if you're starting with $1,000 trade, even if you're starting with $1,000, right? People are like, oh my goodness, if I could make 6 figures from the markets. Well, literally how you're only 7 trades away. I'm going to show you exactly how that works. I'm also going to show you my trading system, how that works as well too. My scanning process, how I scan the markets to find my number one trading setup. And a whole bunch of other down home country goodness as well too. So, guys, go to johnsfreegift.com. Go get the help right now. It's free. I promise you, you're going to absolutely love it. And I'll see you in the next video.